Have you ever heard of a missing person case so baffling it defied explanation? Well, get ready for a whole series of them. Some national parks, landmarks, even the roads and caves have a chilling reputation for swallowing people whole, leaving behind nothing but unanswered questions. Whatever the reason, one thing's for sure: the following 3 cases are guaranteed to send shivers down your spine. Story number 1, Fern Baird. 63-year-old Fern Baird was a successful and well-accomplished woman living in Park City, Utah. She'd built a comfortable life for herself as a realtor and owner of a yoga bag business. According to her cousin, she was an outdoorsy person who loved to ski and enjoyed taking life at a slower pace. On October 19, 2020, Fern traveled to the Sawtooth National Forest in Idaho for what was supposed to be a simple day hike. However, she failed to return home and has been missing since that day. Around 1 p.m. on October 19th, Fern signed in at the Prairie Creek Trailhead in the Prairie Peak area of the Sawtooth National Forest. She wrote in her entry, "To the lake and back." Fern never signed out, and her fate remains a mystery. Investigators discovered that a group of 5 hikers also entered the trail around the same time as Fern, but they've not been able to locate these individuals. The Charlie Project notes that the Prairie Creek Trail is a 10-mile loop on the west side of Highway 75 within the national park. It wasn't until October 22, 2020, that anyone noticed Fern was missing. The hotel she was staying at alerted authorities when she failed to check out of her room. The Blaine County Sheriff's Office and the Blaine County Sheriff's Search and Rescue Team quickly responded and began searching for Fern. As the search continued, more resources were brought in, including Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, National Guard helicopters, drones, motorcycles, horse riders, and 3 dog units. Despite extensive efforts, nothing was found, and the search was called off a few days later. The only clue in Fern's disappearance was the discovery of her 2018 Subaru Crosstrek in the Prairie Creek parking area. There's been no credit card activity, phone activity, or any other clues to indicate where she might have gone. Potential destinations she might have hiked to, such as Prairie Lakes, Minor Lakes, Norton Lakes, or Mill Lake, were searched thoroughly. In a press conference shortly after her disappearance, Blaine County Sheriff Steve Harkins expressed interest in speaking with an unknown couple from Boise and a group of 5 hikers from Tulsa, Oklahoma, who hiked either the West Fork drainage of Prairie Creek or to Prairie Lake on October 19, 2020. These individuals might have seen or have information about Fern. 2 years later, the Blaine County Sheriff's Office is still trying to locate these individuals. The prevailing theory is that Fern might have gotten injured and perished in the wilderness. Chief Deputy William Fruling mentioned that it's most likely she became lost, possibly left the trail, and had to spend the night outdoors, where she might have succumbed to the elements. There's no evidence pointing to foul play, nor anything concrete about her fate. Fern Baird remains missing, and her case is unsolved. Her friends and family have not given up and have offered a $25,000 reward for information leading to her whereabouts. Fern is described as a white female with brown graying hair, brown eyes, standing 5 foot 5 inches tall and weighing 115 pounds. She was last seen wearing a light gray jacket, dark pants, gray gloves, a dark mask, and a dark bum bag. Anyone with information is asked to contact Lieutenant Micah Bade of the Blaine County Sheriff's Office at 208-788-5555, quoting case number BCS 2010-006. Story number 2, Lucas Renaud. On June 18, 2018, 20-year-old Lucas Renaud called his mother, Magali, to wish her a happy birthday. This call is now cherished by Magali as it was the last time she ever spoke to her son. According to Le Parisien, Lucas, a student at the Chauneuf Polar Park, had planned to hike to the Harrison Waterfalls near the border of France and Switzerland with 10 other people. The Harrison Waterfalls are a popular destination, attracting hundreds of visitors each year. As the group began descending the steps to the waterfall, a friend snapped a photo of Lucas holding a fellow hiker's dog. This would be the last photo taken of Lucas before the trip descended into panic and chaos. Lucas never returned from the walk to the waterfalls, and his absence was immediately noticed by his friends. The group had become separated during the walk, but the full details of how this happened remain undisclosed. Aside from the call to his mother, Lucas made one other call on the day of his disappearance. Le Parisien reports that around 10:20 p.m., Lucas dialed 112, the European emergency number, explaining to the call handler that he was tired of wandering in the woods and his legs were starting to hurt. The call lasted around 8 minutes before it abruptly cut off. Following this worrying call and his friends noticing his absence, a search for Lucas was quickly launched. Helicopters equipped with thermal imaging cameras and search and rescue teams, along with volunteers, scoured the wilderness to find Lucas. Despite the efforts of up to 90 people, no trace of him was found. His friends and family appealed to the media for information, but the search was called off after just 1.5 days after Lucas disappeared, much to his family's disappointment. The police interviewed everyone present, but no solid clues emerged. Lucas's father spoke to France Bleu, expressing frustration with the search efforts, which included the gendarmes' refusal of help from a dog association. He lamented that the search might have been longer and better organized if Lucas had been a minor. On June 26, the fellow hiker alerted authorities to a suspicious smell, leading to the discovery of Lucas's body slumped against a tree just 500 meters from the waterfall's car park. The coroner determined that Lucas's body was severely decomposed, making it unlikely that an autopsy would yield results. Positive identification was made through clothing and DNA, and the Renaud family began their grieving process. Due to the level of decomposition, the coroner could not determine the time or cause of death, but ruled out any serious injury. A toxicology test detected drug molecules corresponding to a prescribed treatment within therapeutic dosage limits, making it impossible to evaluate the thesis of intoxication. Lucas's family was displeased with the investigation into their son's disappearance and death. Magali gave an interview to France Bleu, criticizing the emergency call handler's response and the overall investigation. Lucas's family is still fighting for answers and justice. They sent letters to the French authorities, which were ignored, leading them to file a complaint via a lawyer. Magali also accused the public prosecutor of Lens-Saunier of withholding the autopsy report and other information. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Jura Gendarmes at 0800 004712 or 0384358600. Story number 3, Paula Weldon. In the Green Mountain National Forest, near Glastonbury Mountain and Vermont's Long Trail, there's an area known as the Bennington Triangle, famous for a series of mysterious disappearances between 1945 and 1950. Paula Weldon was the second person to go missing in this area during that period. 18-year-old Paula was a college student who set out on the Long Trail in December 1946. She was dressed for a short walk, wearing jeans, a coat, and sneakers, which indicated she planned to return before dark, when temperatures were expected to drop below freezing. Paula told her roommate that she was taking a long walk, but she never returned. Several people spotted her hitchhiking to the trail and walking towards the trailhead. When Paula didn't come back by dark, her roommate informed the school and a search began. Classes were suspended so students could help with the search. Initially, the process was disorganized, but Paula's father called in favors from police in 2 surrounding states. Unfortunately, the search didn't yield any results, and frustrated family and friends speculated about what might have happened to her. Did Paula run off with a boyfriend? Was she abducted? Or did she fall victim to exposure? Her body's never been found, so her disappearance remains a mystery. There's also a rumor that this area of the Long Trail is home to a creature called the Bennington Monster. Could this Sasquatch-like animal have something to do with her disappearance? Who knows? What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments.